Hey everyone, it's been a bit since I've done a video. It's the holiday time, of course, and we're pretty busy around here. And anyway, so I had to take a couple of weeks off. I was super busy with work and the extra Christmas shopping and things like that. So I wanted to do a video on a question that I get fairly often, and it's a really big deal. It's kind of a heated topic. And especially my viewpoint on it is not exactly the most accepted viewpoint on it. I have a blog entry written about this. It's called Just Following Orders, if you would like to look that up. My blog is conjuredcardia.blogspot.com. And the question is, if you are Wiccan, or just consider yourself generally pagan, or you are some other sect, and you are not initiated into Santeria or Voodoo, can you work with the Orisha or the Loa? And this is my viewpoint on that. Is that to begin a religion, Santeria or Voodoo, there had to be one person who these deities revealed themselves to. It started with one person, and they were the first initiate. But there was no religion before them. It did not exist. There were no rules to it. There were no traditions being passed on verbally or written down. None of that existed yet. It had not been named. So that first person who received the information or received these messages from either of these pantheons, the Orisha or the Loa, they were not technically initiated, but these deities still came to them with their information and their knowledge and their traditions and their stories of how things came to be and how things should be, and philosophies on how life works and the way you should live your life, and practices and techniques for healing and manifesting what you want in your life. All of those things were revealed to one person who was not initiated yet. So do I believe that these deities, the Orisha and the Loa, who have such an emphasis in their religions on you have to be initiated in order to work with them, do I believe that they can come to people who are not initiated or are not even aware of or not even interested yet in those religions? And my answer is absolutely. I think that most people have not grown up in these religions in this country, in the United States. And if you were surrounded by it, then that's a different thing. Culturally, it's then part of your culture. So then you may just go along with that because that's what your family did, that's what you were raised with. So you're around people who can initiate you. So that's part of your culture, and that's how you grow up, and you haven't it's working for you, you're happy with it, so you haven't had to seek outside of that to find something else. So you have the advantage, and you have the necessary tools and networking to be initiated. But if you weren't raised with those things, and say, maybe you're studying different religions and you're trying to find your path, and you start reading on Santeria, and even if there's no one else around you who is practicing it, do you have the right to have the Orisha come to you and speak to you and speak through you and deliver divine messages and information to you? I absolutely believe that, because I think most people who are initiated into these sects did not grow up with it. So that means that you began with an interest in it. Well, to me, an interest is the divine speaking to you. If you are led to, certain things call to you, and you find books about them and you research about them online and you start practicing. So you're not initiated yet when you're doing all of these things. but your interest is piqued and more information is being revealed to you. And if you're like me, you have a lot of symbolism occur in your life when you are on the right path. I've had all kinds of things happen to me that are documented in my blog, spiritual messages and divine symbols that have been delivered to me when I know I'm on the right path. I will have dreams of specific deities that I've never heard of, that I've never studied, and I have to look them up based on the symbolism, how they appeared to me in my dream, etc. So when those things begin to happen, obviously you don't have to be initiated for those things to happen, or they wouldn't be happening to any of us. So it's not necessary, and I'm not down on initiation at all. I'm initiated. I'm ordained. I'm not down on that at all. That's not my point. My point is you don't have to be to receive divine messages from a certain pantheon. You don't have to be of that culture. You don't have to be raised with it, and you don't have to be initiated. And of course, you can always seek those things out later, being initiated or becoming ordained in something. Those are things that you can always add on later if it fits into your spiritual path. But I absolutely do not believe that. I believe having a genuine interest and being led to the information that is going to increase your knowledge and enhance you being able to work with these spirits and learn how to honor them and the traditions associated with them, the cultural history, the geographical history associated with them. If all of those things are being drawn into your life, then I believe that's the divine speaking to you, and I don't believe you have to be initiated for that to happen. Like I said, mine is not a common or popular belief, but I absolutely don't believe that anybody has the right to tell you anything about your religion, who you can or cannot receive messages from, who you can or cannot worship, if you can go through initiation or not. I don't believe anybody has the right to tell you those things. Only you know those things, and only you know what's right for you. And you will know by the divine speaking to you. And you have to be open and aware and watching for these symbols and let them come into your consciousness and enhance your being. But don't ever be scared of, looking into a pantheon or traditions that are interesting to you, because it's not what you were brought up with. Because a lot of us are in paganism because we did not want the patriarchal dominating viewpoint of, you grew up with this, you have to do it this way, you have to be like us, it's in your family, blah, blah, blah. A lot of people have looked into paganism and other religious sects to escape that and to be liberated and to have choices available to them, to be able to find the pantheon or the deity that really speaks to them without being, shoved into this very narrow, this very narrow belief that maybe you were brought up with, but you don't feel it in your heart, and you can't subscribe to it. So I just want to encourage you all that there's nothing wrong with educating yourself about any other religion or any other sect or any other tradition. You have the absolute right to look up as much information and read as many books about whatever you want to, and that's part of your spiritual growth. I believe spirituality is fluid, and we're all just on waves all the way through this life, and we're all trying to learn as much as we possibly can and glean as much as we possibly can. And that's how we move on to our next stepping stone to see what's right for us. Once we're educated, we can make a better choice about where we're going next with our spirituality. So I just wanted to answer that question for a few of my clients and a few of my viewers who were interested in that. And I hope it inspires you all to go out there and look into whatever it is that is speaking to your heart. And I wish you all many blessings, and thank you for watching. Ajay.